In the last video, we saw how to create a single object. But what if you want to create a compound or paged object? In this case, you'll follow the same steps as we walked through previously for single objects, but with a slight addition. First, you'll need to create the parent or containing node. This is the node that will hold the children or pages. Go to Content, Add Content, Repository Item. And it's very important that we set the correct combination of resource type and model so that the object is displayed correctly. You should follow the object's configuration table shown here. This table is also in your Born Digital Site Owner Manual under the heading Object Configuration. The parent node of a compound object should have a resource type of collection and model of compound object. The parent node of a book should have resource type of collection and model of paged content. The object I'm creating here is going to be a book. Let's call it test book. And then I'm going to select resource type collection. And scroll down to model. I'm going to choose page content. This node will also likely be within a collection, although it doesn't have to be. So in the member of field, I'm going to add it to my example collection that I created in an earlier video. Parent nodes do not need to have a display hint set, so we can leave that as is. And when you're done adding whatever metadata you want to include, you can just click Save. So we have our book, and next we need to create the children or page objects. This can be done from this parent node here by clicking the Children tab. Click Add Child, and then follow the same process that you did. We have to choose Repository Item. And then we're going to follow the same process that we did for the parent node, but we're going to keep in mind those resource type and model requirements. So I'm going to call this page 1. And I'm going to say this is text. And I'm going to scroll all the way down to model, and I'm going to be sure to select page. You can see it's already filled this member of in for us as a member of test book. And now I do need to select a display hint. So because my image is a JPEG, I'm going to select OpenSea Dragon. And I'm going to click Save. And there is our page. But we need media for it. So I'm going to click on the Media tab, Add Media. And I'm going to add an image, because again, it's a JPEG. If I were adding a TIFF, I would choose File. And it fills in the name for us. And I'm going to select my image. Say original file, and that's going to automatically generate the derivatives like the thumbnail file that we're going to need. going to click Save. Now if I go back to the you see I have my one page. And the image will load in a second. Here we go. If I click Pages, the Pages tab shows thumbnail images of all the pages in the book. So we have one right now. If I go to Full View, that takes me to the parent. That's going to show my first page. So I have one page in my book, but I would like to add some more. Now you can do this by clicking on the Children tab. You'll see the one child page that we've created. We can add another one. And we'll call this page 2. And just like before, I'm going to choose text as my resource type. I'm going to scroll down, and you could put metadata that you wanted to show up with the page itself. You could include here. It would show up when you click into the pages and then click on the page thumbnail. So again, I'm going to select page as the model. Open Seadragon again. And it's already selected test book as the member of. So I can click Save. Now we have page 2, but again, we have to add the media to it. So I click the Media tab, Add Media. Again, I'm going to add an image. Find my image here. Choose original file, so it will generate that thumbnail image for me. I'm going to click Save. Now when I go back, I'm on page 2. And if I click the Pages tab again, I'll see both of my page thumbnails. And if I click the full view to go back to the parent node, you see that I have some thumbnails in here, so I can actually navigate through my book with the Open Seadragon viewer controls here. Now, compound objects like this one are a little bit different than book and paged objects. For one thing, you can see the display is a little different. We have the main viewer here and then the children as thumbnails along here. For another thing, you can also put metadata at the set level in the parent node, and it will be shown on every child page or child object in this set description tab. So this is metadata that applies to the entire set. And this is metadata that applies to the selected child object that I'm viewing right now. The other difference is you never actually see the front end of the parent node. So you can see in the URL here, this is the URL for a child object. If I want to actually get to the parent object and edit that set level metadata, I have to click on Parents. And here I can see this is the parent node, and if I want to edit it, I can just click Edit from here. If I clicked Children from that child node, you'd see there aren't any children because I'm actually looking at a child, even though when I access this compound object from a collection page or search results page, it might look like I'm clicking on this compound object link, but I'm actually always going to the first child object. So that's how you create compound and paged objects directly in Drupal and Islandora.